Africans. I stand in solidarity with my Ohio Africans and with the family and community of that 21-year-old young lady, a mother of two sons, 6-year-old son, and I believe Sister Takaya leaves behind a 3-year-old son, two black boys, forever traumatized by their mother's senseless and unnecessary death, shot and murdered, pregnant with the little girl, shot and murdered, pregnant with the little girl, shot and murdered, pregnant with the little girl. She died, and her unborn daughter also died. Think about that for a moment. Let's process that. An unborn African princess murdered by the police before she exited her mother's womb. How is that possible? An unborn African princess murdered by the police before she even exits her mother's womb. Accused of shoplifting. Unproven crime. There is no proof she stole anything. No proof she stole anything. No proof she stole anything. But the police shot her dead within 30 seconds of the confrontation. Shot her dead within 30 seconds of the confrontation. Murdered by an accusation of shoplifting. Murdered by an accusation of shoplifting. If she were white, they would have let her go. Police are arguing. She started to take off, and she was going to run him over. Well, get out the way. You don't get ran over. If she was white, they would have just got out the way and let her take off. If she was a white woman, everybody knows Takaya would still be alive. If she were a snow bunny, if she were a bunny, there is no doubt in anyone's mind on this planet, if she was a 21-year-old snow bunny, the officer never draws his weapon. She takes off and they let her go. The fact she would have taken off as a white woman would have been proof enough for the police that she was innocent. If a white woman would have taken off in front of the police after being accused of stealing without proof, they would have let it go. They would have took that as a message she was innocent. The situation would have ended right there. But because she was black, and because President Joe Biden has made it clear he's not going to do anything about police genocide against Africans, because the U.S. Congress has made it clear they're not going to do anything against police genocide of Africans, because the Congressional Black Caucus, the NAACP, the Urban League, the Black Church, Attorney Benjamin Crump, they're not going to do anything. Benjamin Crump will collect money, but he's not going to fight for no changes in the law. He don't care about that. He just wants money. So they're killing our pregnant daughters now. It's not always about race. I'm going to block you because that's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life. I just blocked PlayStation Platinum. I just blocked PlayStation Platinum. And the reason I just blocked PlayStation Platinum is he claims it's not about race. I don't know if you're an idiot or you're just ignorant about American history. I don't know if you're an idiot or you're just ignorant about American history. Everything is about race. America was built on racism, maintained on racism, sustained in racism. I have no patience in the 21st century. I have no patience, absolutely none, in the 21st century for a Negro who wants to be sympathetic to the very system that exterminates his people. I have no patience in the 21st century. I have no patience in the 21st century. Slavery began in the 15th century. The 15th century. We are now in the 21st century. 600 years after the start of slavery, and you got ninjas running around defending white people by trying to distract from the reality that everything in America is about race. Everything in the world is about race. Did not white people get a head start over everyone else on this planet by subjugating Africans, dehumanizing them, and exploiting their labor? Is that not how Europe took over the planet? Is that not how the white man got his head start? He didn't get his head start with intelligence. He didn't get his head start through hard work. He didn't get his head start through following his religious teachings. He didn't get a head start because his foreparents left him a wealthy inheritance. No, he got his head start by exploiting and subjugating Africans. That's how he got his head start. And you want to sit up here and defend. You want to sit up here and distract from racism as the major illness on this planet and the major cause of pain and suffering for African people. Racism equals pain. Racism equals pain. Racism equals pain. But getting back to Takaya, our 21-year-old sister murdered by police in Ohio, August the 24th. I'm just learning about this here in Europe. I don't follow people on social media because most people are not discussing anything that I consider worth my time. I don't follow anybody on Twitter. I don't follow anybody on Facebook. I don't follow anyone on Instagram because most of you are not engaging in any serious, relevant dialogue about Black liberation. That's why my follower numbers is at 0. And it's going to stay at 0. I'm not following anybody on social media. Follow you for what? What are you doing that is relevant to Black liberation? What are you doing that is relevant to Black redemption? Me not following nobody is my protest, my silent protest that Black social media, 99% of it is a waste of time and energy. Black social media, 99% of it is a waste of time and energy. Black social media, 99% of it is a waste of time and energy. Jay Crowder 24, you are absolutely incorrect. Jay Crowder 24, you are absolutely incorrect. Jay Crowder 24, you are absolutely incorrect. There is no such thing as white guilt. I wish y'all stop defending your oppressor. I wish you all would stop trying to humanize your oppressor. Stop trying to make your oppressor look like they are sensitive to human suffering. White guilt. What white person ever told you they were guilty of mistreating Black people? You have never been told in your life by a European anywhere. You have never, ever, ever in your life been told by a European that they were guilty for what they did to a Black person. You are wrong. There is no such thing as a white guilt. White guilt is a concept religiously immature Black people invented to defend their slave masters from charges of narcissism and brutality. White guilt is a concept Black people invented to defend white people from charges of psychopathological racism and brutality. There's no such thing as white guilt. There's no such thing as white guilt. There is absolutely no such thing as white guilt. Please cut it out. Hop off my live. Cut it out or hop off my live. So Takaya and her unborn baby, that was an ancestor. Takaya and her unborn baby, that was an ancestor. They murdered a young black woman and her unborn daughter over an allegation, unsubstantiated allegation of shoplifting. What did they claim she stole? What do they claim Takaya stole? From Kroger. From Kroger in Ohio. How much money does Kroger get from black people? A whole lot. How much money does Kroger supermarkets make off black people every year in America? I'm pretty sure it's billions of dollars. I'm pretty sure it's at least in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So Kroger, that makes hundreds of millions of dollars off black people every year, couldn't do without a bottle of liquor. But I'm not even going to say that because there's no proof she stole the liquor. There's no proof she stole the liquor. But even if she did, so what? Don't y'all make enough money off black people? Kroger supermarkets, don't you make enough money off black people? So even if she took it, and I know she didn't because she said she didn't, and I have no reason to doubt my sister's word. I have no reason to doubt the young ancestor's word. If she said she didn't take the liquor, she didn't take the liquor. That's it. Police told her to get out the car. They didn't even say roll down the window. They just said get out the car. She had things to do. She was innocent and she decided to go on with her life. She was innocent and she decided to go on with her life. She was innocent and she decided to go on with her life. Had a white woman been innocent and decided to go on with her life, they would have said she was just exercising her constitutional rights. She was exercising her constitutional rights that protect her from unwarranted searches and seizures. Had a white woman driven off, they would have said she was exercising her constitutional rights that protect her from unwarranted searches and seizures. That's what they would have said. But because she was black, and because white people think they have an unjustified divine authority to dictate the lives of black people, but because Takaya exercised her intelligence, constitutional right to drive off, because the Constitution protects her from unlimited searches and seizures, because she exercised her constitutional right to drive off, the police gets in front of the car. Why didn't he move out the way? He could have just moved out the way. If she was white, he would have moved out the way. If she were white, he would have moved out the way. But because she was black, and this country has made it clear, from Breonna Taylor to Ahmaud Arbery, to Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, from Eric Garner to Freddie Gray, to Sandra Bland, to Amir Pope, to Tamir Rice. This country has made Trayvon Martin. This country has made it absolutely clear that black life has no value at all. And police have been given the freedom to execute Africans whenever they feel like it. These are the facts, and they are undisputed. Now, some Negroes are going to say, police told her to stop. Police told her to get out of the car. Why didn't she listen? Okay. If you want to argue she should have complied with law enforcement, make your argument. But let me tell you what you cannot argue. You cannot argue justifiable homicide. She was unarmed and not proven guilty of having committed a crime. If you've done nothing wrong, why must you yield to the police? If you've done nothing wrong, why must you yield to the police? She was innocent and unarmed, shopping while black. Shopping while black is deadly. We can't learn while black. We can't walk while black. We can't drive while black. And now we can't even shop while black. False allegations of stealing liquor from Kroger's. Why not let her go and arrest her later? Why do white police feel the need to execute justice on the spot? Why do white police feel the need to execute unproven, unneeded, unsubstantiated force on the spot? Because white people have a slave plantation complex. White people have a slave plantation complex. I said Caucasians have a slave plantation complex. They believe through conditioning. White people believe they have a divine right to rule blacks. Yes, they do. They absolutely believe they have a divine right to rule black people. And when we make excuses for white on black homicide, when we make excuses for police assassinations, we reinforce this right, this unwritten right that they think they have to rule over blacks. Those police are not going to go to jail. I seriously doubt it. They're not going to lose their job. The grand jury is not going to find grounds to press charges.